First question is the budget. What's your comments? What's your thoughts about that?
It's a massive sadness, really. It's a missed opportunity. Yeah, I welcome the justice for the miners. That's good. And I welcome the principle of more money going into the NHS. But the reality is the budget has continued with the austerity that they inherited from the Conservatives, has not done anything about the dreadful discrimination against people with disabilities, hasn't done anything about the WASPy women, hasn't done anything about the immorality of the two-child benefit cap, and it's already baked in the ending of the winter fuel payment to the majority of older people. Well, what a chance they had, what an opportunity they had.
What would you have liked to see?
What I'd like to see is the sort of statement that Hugh Dalton made in 1946, who was the post-war government's first Chancellor of the Exchequer. The first part of his speech was he set out a vision of a society that cared for all. And why can't we set it out and say, well, this is what we want to achieve: end homelessness, end poverty within our society, end housing overcrowding, and this is the steps we're going to take towards it. Instead, the Chancellor heads off in the direction of saying, well, business loves us and business is pleased with us, and this is what we're doing to please business. Well, at the end of the day, it didn't even please them.
Second question is about Kemi Badenoch has been elected the leader of the Conservative Party. She's made statements about transgender people, statements about pro-Palestinian supporters, statements about immigration as well, that many people see as a return to sort of nativist politics. And what do you think about that?
Well, I think Kemi Badenoch's election is depressing, but then Jenrick wouldn't have been any better, because Jenrick claimed to, in the past, have had liberal views. I'm not sure he even knows what his own views are now. He just follows focus groups within the Tory party. So I think we're in for a period when the Tory leadership is going to go into this sort of attack on anyone of the left, what they would describe as anti-wokeism. I'm not sure what woke is, but I think pretty well everybody here would be accused of being woke from what I hear. And it's going to be a horrible period, because they're going to open up against refugees and asylum seekers. And I suspect that the Labour leadership will do what the social democratic parties all over Europe have done, is start conceding arguments and grounds to this kind of right-wing agenda. So, as a result, politics as a whole moves to the right. So, it's up to us. Now, the people here today, there's 100,000 of us on this demonstration in support of Palestine. Yes, we're here for Palestine, yes, we're here for peace, and yes, we're here to end the arms trade. But if you talk to everyone here, they're also wanting something different. They're also a voice for peace and justice and environment and sustainability around the world, and social justice within this country. It's that voice we need to hear. And in Parliament, it's not easy. Our group of 5, the Greens group, and some of the Labour MPs, and Plaid, and some of the SNP, we're actually working quite closely together on promoting an agenda for social justice. And on the 28th of November, we're proposing a bill, Shokhat Adam is proposing the bill to recognise Palestine. That's going to be an important moment.
And then the last question is, we're seeing in our world what I like to describe as a crisis of dehumanisation when it comes to people in Sudan, when it comes to black and brown people even on the streets of London, rates of poverty, homelessness, etc. And we see it specifically when it comes to Palestine, over 42,000 people killed, with the Lancer report estimating it's a lot higher. What do you say to people who seem to have lost faith in humanity and in our capacity to do things in a different way, in a better way?
We live in a cold environment where we have essentially a media and academic consensus around support the arms trade, support the government on Middle East and Ukraine and everything else. And they seem to have lost the plot on the direction in which the world's going. And we have a basic economic theory which essentially says that there has to be grotesque levels of inequality to be a successful economy. Well, that is frankly appalling. So what we need is people to stand up against the trend of the times, hence all of us that are here today, and there's a lot of us. And I've been doing a lot of meetings over the last few weeks around the country, discussing the book we produced from Peace and Justice Project, The Monstrous Anger of the Guns. The title comes from the Wilfred Owen poem of the First World War, when he said, "What do men who are herded like cattle to the front hear on their way? Nothing but the monstrous anger of the guns." It's a poem for those soldiers that were mown down in the First World War. And our book is about the arms trade globally, not just in Britain and Europe and the USA, but in India, Latin America, and many other places around the world, and the effect of it. And to me, it's a tract against the times. Interesting, the people that are coming to our events, and there's a lot of them turning up, often in no party, often didn't vote in elections, just want to have that discussion about basic humanitarian values. And so there's a lot of us out there. We just need to give ourselves a bit more confidence, and that confidence gives more hope.
Lovely. Thank you.